Hi guys. Okay, so if you're a law student and you're about to apply to take the bar exam, you know you have to fill out the bar admission application, and character and fitness is one of the things that you're going to have to pass in order to be admitted to the bar, right? So character and fitness means you have a certain morality level, you haven't done anything crazy in the past that will prevent you from being a practicing attorney, right? But did you know that after all this work you did, got into law school, passed law school, graduated, perhaps something can stop you from becoming a practicing attorney? Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick story about how character and fitness played into me being able to be a practicing attorney in Maryland, right? So I graduated from law school and I sat for the Maryland bar, right? So as part of character and fitness, you have to say whether you got any tickets, parking tickets, speeding tickets, all those things, right? And I had to answer that in the character and fitness. And then in Maryland, you actually have to go to one of the practicing attorneys that are on this board and explain yourself. Like it's like an interview, right? So I go to the interview and the guy asked me like, why should we approve this application for you to sit for the bar exam? It shows that you had parking tickets, blah, blah, blah. Right? So I had to say, all right, sir. In my head, I was like, this is stupid, but let me go ahead and answer you because I want to be able to practice as an attorney, right? So I'm like, I think even the best of people, probably even you, sir, has gotten parking tickets, especially living in D.C. If anybody has lived in D.C., just about everybody has gotten a parking ticket if they have a car, right? So I'm like, even the best of people have gotten parking tickets, and I think that should not preclude anybody from being able to practice law because of parking tickets. I don't think that has any bearing about my ability to be a law-abiding citizen, right? So I don't think there was a correlation. Whatever I said convinced them, right? I was able to pass the bar exam, practice, and here I am 11 years later, right? But I think I know people personally who have had to have the character and fitness part of it that has held them up from being able to practice that as an attorney, right? These are people that were former felons, former people who had former convictions for misdemeanors, right? Explaining why, yes, all that I did good, but this could perhaps prevent you from practicing law. Some people don't even think about it until they get to that point. And I actually might invite one of the people that I know personally that had to deal with this issue because he had a previous conviction and he was a stellar law student, right? But he had a previous conviction that he had to deal with in the barriers that he faced to be able to practice as an attorney, right? So think about that. Is there anything in your past that may be creeping back up on you and then you're like, after all this work, maybe I may not be able to become a practicing attorney? Maybe, maybe not. Let's talk about a little bit of examples about, in recent cases, what has happened and what the end result was, right? So recently in New York in particular, New York has a New York bar admission question that says, have you ever been charged or convicted as a juvenile or an adult of any crimes, tickets, things of that nature, right? And so one of these, I'll put it on the screen, one of these bar association is questioning the constitutional, the right to be able to say, okay, I don't need to disclose my juvenile offenses, right? And they're saying like to even ask that question as a bar admission question is illegal, right? What do you guys think? Comment below in the comment section. What do you think? Should you even be required to bring up your juvenile past if it's been sealed because you've been a juvenile? There's a lot of barriers to becoming a practicing attorney, and it begs the question whether it's disproportionately affecting certain people, right? Certain races, certain classes of people, right? So let's say you grew up poor and perhaps you may have had some shoplifting when you were a juvenile. Should that really prevent you from being able to practice as an attorney as a 20-something-year-old adult because that happened when you were a child? Because you were poor and because of the circumstance that you were born into that you had no control over? It brings up a lot of questions, and I think there are people on both sides of it, right? So I want to kind of see what you guys think about that. Okay, since it's Black History Month, I'm going to plug a little thing about somebody in Black history, Isaac Wright, who was known for, he was wrongly convicted of being a drug pen, right? And so he went to jail. I think he had a life sentence. He went to jail, ended up getting exonerated, came out of jail, went to law school, became a lawyer, went back and basically got the prosecutor who falsely accused him of being a drug pen and the judge fired, right? So that's a little like history. Somebody who had a past, he was wrongfully convicted, but ended up coming back with a vengeance, right? When you're in prison, you have a lot of time to to look up information, to research. I know when I was a law clerk, I would get all kind of letters from the prisoners, and they had a lot of time to research things. They were good law clerks, let's put it that way. They were good stewards of the law because they had access to the library and they had plenty of time to do research. And so Isaac Wright took the opportunity to say, okay, no, I'm not going to sit there. I'm going to make the best of my time. Even though I'm wrongfully convicted, I'm going to make the best of my time and come back with a vengeance. And bam, prosecutor, you, and even you, judge, who put me away wrongfully, y'all about to be out of here. So that's my little Black History Month tip, but also shows you that just because you had a past doesn't mean that you can't be a practicing attorney, and a very successful one at that. Hopefully becoming a lawyer is something that, if that's something that you want to do, nothing in your past will come back to haunt you. Obviously, those rules of character and fitness were put in place for a reason, but I can see how they can be abused. So hopefully they're not abused. Hopefully if you're a person that has recovered, you're rehabilitated, and you want to make good for the world and become a lawyer to help other people, hopefully you'll be able to achieve your dream. All right, see you in the next video.